All right. Very good. Very good. Okay, everyone. So again, welcome. I am happy that you are joining us for the Professional Aces interest meeting. My name is Dr. Johnette Ruffner-Ceaser. Hi, Cherie. My name is Dr. Johnette Ruffner-Ceaser. I am the founder of the Professional Oasis and the CEO and founder of Liberated Expressions, LLC. And ladies, I want you to know that my mission is to teach women how to create pathways to success that will enable them to freely and confidently demonstrate their unique value in the workplace, marketplace, and beyond. I am super excited that you're here to learn more about this unique opportunity. But before I go any further, I want to introduce you to the beautiful geniuses that make up the Professional Oasis team. When I call your name, if you could just raise your hand. You have the names here, but raise your hand anyway. Dr. Cislina Ledbetter, Andy Spate, Bianca Jackson, and Shay Cook. All right. Hi, everyone. It is so good to see you all. I see my hometown girl, Pamela Epperson, and so many others. And I think my mama's on the call. So you all, thank you so very much for joining. So if you give me a minute, I would like to share my screen. All right. Very good. Okay, ladies. So as we get started, before we go any further, I want you to know that you deserve clarity, rejuvenation, and the opportunity to increase your credibility. But unfortunately, sometimes we don't believe that we deserve these things. So we put ourselves on the back burner. We don't invest in ourselves. Sometimes we convince ourselves that everything will work out, even though we're not taking strategic steps to make things work. And many times we find it easier to build someone else's dream before we will build our own. Then, even when we do finally take the leap to pursue our dreams, we sometimes go back to square one because of self-doubt. Our finances may not be in the order that we want them to be, or we're flat out not organized or consistent in our efforts. And so all of this can lead us to feeling stuck personally and professionally. We may have low energy, and our confidence can certainly take a hit. And what happens, right, when these things set in our heart, in our mind, in our spirit? I say, and I know that I've experienced this, we slowly die. We become unrecognizable to ourselves and others. We can become very frustrated, angry, depressed, and it feels like we are out of alignment. And why is that? Because we are, in fact, out of alignment. And I have felt this way. And given that you're here, I suspect that many of you are feeling the same way right now. And I work with women on a daily basis. And despite their title, despite race, despite the number of degrees, despite socioeconomic background, many of them are experiencing the same thing. And so over the years, I have been working to be the solution to these barriers to success, not only for you, but for myself. And so, ladies, I really believe that there is nothing more beautiful than a woman in alignment with her divine assignment. And, I really don't believe in coincidences. You are here for a reason. And I believe that reason is for you to become the woman of your dreams. And if, my goodness, ladies, if you're looking at current events, if there ever was a time for you to step into your greatness, it is right now. So I want to share the vision with you, right? How it all came about. And I don't know about you, but I am learning more and more that I have to get on my knees and pray. And so through prayer time, September 2020, I wrote this in my journal. Liberated Expressions is an oasis for professional renewal and transformation. And then a few months later, in December, I decided to move through, I went through going back to my journal. I was going through a season where I thought about putting my business on the back burner and pursuing a traditional job. But then I wrote this in my journal: stop listening to outside forces. God has only given you ideas to expand your business, not your job search. God will deal with the barriers to the vision. And then the next day, I wrote the vision. I wrote out Professional Oasis, as you can see at the bottom. And I also, what I wanted to do with it and who I should partner with to make that dream come alive. And so on that page in my journal, this is what I was thinking: that every professional woman needs 5 things to be successful. We need a mindset shift. We need to get organized. We need professional freedom, brand optimization, and financial transformation. And once we obtain these 5 things, we have more clarity, we feel more rejuvenated, and we're able to increase our credibility. Another way to look at this is, once we get our mind right and get organized, when we are prepared, then we are prepared to pursue those, pursue professional freedom, and then explore ways to optimize our brand. And once we've completed all of that, we need to prepare ourselves financially for all of that good money that we're going to make as a result of doing that work. And then, once I created the outline, this is who I felt I should partner with to make up the Professional Oasis team. Collectively, I have known these women for approximately 24 years. I didn't realize it until I added it up earlier today. And what I know is this: beyond their expertise, they are good people. They can be trusted with your mental, spiritual, and emotional being. And they are passionate and excellent in everything they do. And I am honored, and I mean honored, that they latched on to the vision when I shared it with them and accepted my invitation to be to partner with me to provide you with this unique opportunity. So ladies, what is the Professional Oasis? The Professional Oasis is a 6-week counseling and coaching experience for powerhouse mid to executive level women like you, who deserve personal and professional clarity, time to rejuvenate, and an opportunity to build their credibility. The program is built on our 5 pillars of success, which are a mindset shift and confidence building, professional organizing, career coaching, LinkedIn optimization, financial coaching, and counseling. And to give you more detail about each area, all of the members of the Professional Oasis team will give you a sneak peek into what you will receive through the program. And first up is Dr. Cislina Ledbetter. Dr. Ledbetter is a social psychologist, researcher, lecturer, author, and life coach. She is one of the most respected and sought after emerging voices in the field of emotional wellness and life fulfillment. Everyone, please welcome Dr. Cis.
Thank you, Dr. Ruffner. I'm so excited. Are you excited to be here? I hope that you are. As Dr. Caesar Ruffner said earlier, there are no mistakes. So if you are on this call, we believe that you are likely a heart-centered professional that is interested in up-leveling your game. I want to know who's here. If we believe that you were sent here and that you are here with us to figure out how to move forward, either in your career, professionally, and maybe you want to establish a business, maybe there's some other things going on in your life that has brought you to this place. So if you are here for a heart-centered professional, drop a 1 in the chat so that we know that you're a heart-centered professional and you're in this place to see how you can expand yourself. Drop a 1 in the chat and let us know who you are and that you're here to do that. What I know is that most folks that move through this space are typically either butterflies or gazelles. What do I mean by that? Butterflies are those people who are super creative, who go through life and they are really interested in kind of sprinkling here and sprinkling there and all of these ideas about feeling like you are here only to do one thing. Sometimes it doesn't resonate. Sometimes we're here and we know that we were put on this earth to do multiple things. But then those are the butterflies. So drop a 1 if you're a butterfly. A gazelle is that person who comes in, they know what they were put here to do, and they're razor zero in on exactly what they were here to do. So 1 if you're a butterfly, 2 if you're a gazelle. So the butterflies, they sprinkle. They're like, yeah, I want to do a little bit of this. I want to do a little bit of that. Gazelles, they know what they were put here for. And those are the 2s. Those are folks who are super focused and just need a little bit of support to up level their game. So let's talk about time. And one of the concepts that I like to talk about is the concept of time and how we often think that we have more time than we actually have. And one of the things that if COVID has taught us nothing else, is that we can shift on a dime. That what used to take us 8 months, a year, 2 years, now we know that everything can totally transform and turn on its head in 2 weeks. How many of y'all had to get off, leave your job, your cush job or wherever, and shift the way you do business? Say I had to shift the way I did business. Say shift, right? Shift if you had to do a shift. 2 weeks is what it took us. We were on campus one day because I actually work on a campus with 16,000 students and am responsible for their mental health and physical health and financial health and all types of the whole spectrum. But so let me know if you had to shift. How long did it take you to shift? Was it 2 weeks? Was it 3 weeks? Was it a month? From the first time COVID hit your state, how long did it take you to shift? It took me 2 weeks. So think about it. One of the things that a couple of days, exactly. You were on campus one day or in your job, and 2 days later, you made a shift. And that's because all the things that we used to think about change immediately. That's right. Cassandra said immediately. Sometimes it is immediate, right? So it doesn't always, we used to say in psychology, it takes 10 years for social change. It doesn't take 10 years anymore. With technology, we're moving. That's right. Chioma said one day. And one day you were in your office. The next day you were where? Home, breaking it down, figuring out what you needed to figure out. Because what do? We figure things out when we have to figure it out. Guess what? You don't have to do that by yourself because we're here to help you figure it out. So I want to play a little game with you. I want you to think about the little girl that you were, because we were all put here to do something, right? And so think about what you would say. What would you say to that little girl? I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years old, about what lesson would you tell her about what you know to be true today? What would be the lesson? For me, my little girl would be, I would say to my little girl, jump out there, trust yourself, do what God put you here to do. Don't listen to the naysayers. Do what you were put here to do. What would you tell that little girl? That is not rhetorical. I want you to drop it in the chat. What would you say? If you had that little girl, what would you say to that person right now to help her understand how to move through the world? Be scared and do it anyway. Cassandra said, be scared and do it anyway, because here's what we know. Fear is not necessarily something you run from. We got to feel the fear, do it anyway. We got to use the fear as fuel, right? That's exactly right. And so part of what we're going to be working with is how to get your shift your confidence. Dream big, says Chioma. Dream big and remain different. That's right. Celebrate our differences. The Lord makes a way, Pamela said, for you to dream. What are your dreams? What have you left behind? And how can you arrest patterns that have kept you from doing what you were put here to do? So part of the work is going to be, it's not just about throwing tips and tools at you, because here's what we know. You are going to have to biohack in order to redesign your life. We have figured out what works. how to set habits instead of just focusing on goals. Bridget said, learn from your mistakes and keep it moving. That's exactly right. Don't allow yourself to get arrested by patterns that don't work. You know, skin your knee and get up. I'd rather have skint knees and walking in my purpose than be comfortable and not do that, right? So figure out what works. We're going to help you do that. We're going to help you figure out the difference between feeling the fear and being paralyzed, right? The analysis of paralysis, and feeling the fear and doing that thing. Don't stay in what Renee said, don't stay in one position for more than 5 years. That's right. Move up and move out, right? When something isn't working, move up and move out. So I'm going to share another story and then I'm going to pass the baton. About 15 years ago, maybe more than that, I was in a meeting and I met Iyanla Van Zant. And one of the things she said to me was, leap, you can fly. After she said, I have never seen anyone tag up my book the way you've tagged up my book, because I'm in my head a lot. And so what it did for me is I quit my job. I was able to move into a different role. I went to a coaching practice and built my own coaching practice because what I had been doing, I was a data wonk. I was a researcher. I focused only on those things. But what it did, it created a shift for me. I started working in real estate. I was unrecognizable from the person that was standing in front of Iyanla a year later. I was unrecognizable. And when I hit my first million between stuff and real estate and all of those things, I realized that I was also meant for more. I was meant for more, and that I could teach women how to know that they are meant for more, that you do not have to settle for what you have now. And the difference between settling for what that is are the stories we tell ourselves. And you do not have to be perfect to be successful. There's enough. There's enough for me. There's enough for you. There's enough for everybody on this call. We can all do what we were put here to do, and everybody can eat. You are not meant to do it alone. Your dreams are on the other side of through. What does through mean for you? Where are you now? Right? Why did you join this call? Because you want to get on the other side of through, and you were not meant to do that alone. And while I'm winding down, I'm going to give you a quote of one of my favorites, and that is Dr. Brene Brown. And she talks about wanting to be in the arena. I want to be in the arena because let me tell you what I'm terrified of. I am not terrified of being alone. I am not terrified of being a bad mama. I am not terrified of divorce. I am not terrified of being bad at my job. I'm not terrified of anything other than not living out the purpose that God has put me here to do. That terrifies me. And so Brene says, I want to be in the arena. I want to be brave with my life. And when we make the choice to dare greatly, we sign up to get our butts kicked. We can choose courage or we can choose comfort, but we cannot have both, not at the same time. I'll yield my time and introduce you to someone who is so organized that she will, I understand, help you organize your thoughts because she is just that bad. So I'm going to yield my time to my good sister, Candy.
But first,
first,
you all, just somebody, or even in the chat, just say preach, sis, because she gave she gave a
Preach,
word
sis.
just there. She just did her trial. Right. She just did her trial sermon, whether she realizes it or not. So preach, sis. So look, you all, Dr. Cislina, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And next up is Candy Spake. Candy is the owner of Order Your Steps LLC, a spiritual-based professional organizing business and ministry. Candy uses her God-given gift of organizing and administration, look, you all, to not only organize people's stuff, but to also help them to establish order in other aspects of their lives. Look, I'm going to tell you, one of her clients said, Candy is so good, she can organize your thoughts. So I just want you to know, I want to introduce to some, present to others, Miss Candy Spake.
Well, thank you both so very, very much. And hopefully everyone can hear me very clearly. Yes, I am the proud owner of Order Your Steps LLC. And I must say that after that message, I'm not sure, after Dr. Sis's message, I'm not sure if I can stand up to that one, but the bottom line is that I'll give you a little bit of where I started, because I think it's important for you to know my journey, because after 30 plus years working for Xerox Corporation, I took the leap of faith, and started my own business. And I was one of those that probably didn't plan very good for early retirement, quote unquote, early retirement. But when I made that decision, and I too had written my vision that the Lord had given me to own my own business, but could not even imagine what that was going to look like. You know, when you ask the Lord, let me do something different, he tells you just how different things are going to be for you. And here I am 10 years later, still working with people, primarily women, on getting organized. Now, the interesting part about how this business started is that I found early on that it was way, way more than just organizing stuff. When I started talking to women in their home environments, clutter was something that happened over time. Life had happened at some point in their life, and they lost kind of control of the order of their lives. And organizing or disorganization or disorder was just a result of whatever time had taken them through, as life does for all of us. So in those conversations, there were so many things that contributed to the clutter and the disorder. I found many women were depressed. There was a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. And if I heard one word more than anything else in the hundreds of homes that I went in, it was that feeling of being overwhelmed. It's like everything had kind of closed in on them, and the stuff that surrounded them is what really had them bound. It affects your effectivity, it affects your productivity, it even affects your interaction in your home. You have a tendency to be more frustrated at times. You get more irritable. Your bedrooms may be in disarray. So you're cluttered when you close your eyes, and you're in clutter when you open your eyes. So during my portion of Professional Oasis, I'm hoping to help you to organize not only your space, but find that more order in your life that we all need. And in this chaos that we're living in today, a little bit more order in how we do what we do is critical. It's absolutely critical. So it may start with your closet or your office or whatever, but it will actually branch out into other aspects of your life. One last thing that I'd like to share before I pass the torch is the fact that it's interesting when you end up going outside of your comfort. And when you step out or when you leap, you're leaping into unknown territory. But what I found is that throughout my life journey, living with unorganized people, primarily my husband, I found that when I entered my business, I had to find out where people were in their definition of more order and more organization. So I could not organize them, quote unquote, in the way that I thought that they should organize, trying to put, as I did my family for many years, square pegs in round holes, and they just weren't going to fit no matter what I did. So in entering other people's homes, I found a way to meet them where they are. Whatever, wherever you are at this moment in your clutter and disorder, we come up with a way collectively to determine what is order to you and how to organize your stuff to get you to more order in your life. I tell people many times, if I started my business 10 years ago, people would have just thrown me out, because what I thought was organized was this, this really neat, pristine space. That's not what organization is about. It's about finding what you need when you need it and finding peace and serenity in your space. And we hope to give you that during this program.
Candy, thank you all. Thank you so much. You all give it up for Candy. Give her some love in the chat. Please, please. So thank you, Candy. Appreciate you. All right. I am next up. So for those of you who are just joining us, I am Dr. Janet Ruffner-Ceaser. I am the founder of the Professional Oasis and the CEO and founder of Liberated Expressions, LLC. And through Liberated Expressions, I teach executive women how to leverage their professional superpowers. Superpowers meaning your gifts, talents, and expertise. I provide resume strategy support, career coaching, and do creative professional development opportunities like this one. Well, you all, here's what I want you to know and share with you. And some of you know my story, some of you don't. After I obtained my doctorate, I experienced not one, but 2 layoffs due to budget cuts. I've had an extensive background in higher ed and in the education nonprofit space. And I have to tell you that that experience impacted my confidence significantly. Because if you were told, like I was told, you go, you get educated, you get a good job. If you live in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, it was get a good government job, government, not a T in it, good government job, and you live life happily ever after. So as you can imagine, I'm feeling real confused, I'm frustrated, but most of all, I'm embarrassed. How is it that at this point in time in my life, that I would go through this process and go through this process because I felt like I was led to do it, in the way that it unfolded, process meaning the doctor, the way it unfolded was all in order and divine. And so here I am in this place, in this space, laid off. How is that possible? And so at that time, I had a choice to make. Like we all have choices to make. Am I going to continue to my pity party or use my superpowers and this good old degree that I just paid for, use all of those things to create a new reality? So I decided, really the day after I was laid off, I got to work establishing Liberated Expressions. And I launched my business on April 17th, 2017, and as an homage to my deceased grandmother. And so this experience, right, that experience, that career disruption taught me 2 things. And I want you to know them as well. If you don't, as the other points have been shared, I want you to add this to your points of takeaway. Are, despite what you were taught, right? Degrees, titles, certifications don't guarantee job security. They do not, okay? The other thing I learned, and I want you to be aware of, is you must be an opportunity seeker, not a job searcher. Opportunity seeker, not a job searcher. Many of us live our lives in these constraints and confinements of a job, of a title, of a this. But my question to you is, what happens if all of that disappears, right? Are you able to reinvent? Are you able to dust yourself off? Do you have enough faith to take the leap, right? Because Lord knows, and I know most of you on here have enough education, have enough expertise, have enough experiences. You have it, but the question is, what are you going to do with it? And so through the Professional Oasis, what I want to be able to teach you all is what I taught myself how to do, how to identify and leverage my superpowers, how to turn my career challenges into opportunities, how to create a plan for manifesting my professional goals. And I stress mine, not what someone else wanted, not what someone else thought I should do. Much like what Dr. Sis said, I want to use all that God has given me. And some folks used to be perplexed when I'm doing what I'm doing, but also, if you all don't know, I'm a natural hair advocate and stylist, so I'm doing that. I'm an author of a children's book, 2 books, in fact, and all of these things. How are you doing all of these things? How? Because I was built for this. How? Because I can. How? Because I'm purposed to do this. And so that's the order of the day, ladies. It is about freedom. It is about freedom. And so I know this works. And the way that I know this plan works is because the people who have worked with me have uncovered hidden talents. They've started businesses. They've recovered from layoffs, gotten promotions, and started new jobs. So, what I'm saying to you is it works. And if you were to look at my background, it's not supposed to work, right? I should be this HR specialist for it to work. That's how I know this is divinely ordered, because it works and I'm operating on what I have been uniquely given to do on this earth, in this season, in this time. And I want to be able to share that with you. So, you all, thank you so much for allowing me to share. And next, I want to bring up Bianca Jackson. Bianca is an entrepreneur and award-winning LinkedIn marketing coach. Bianca's background in tech, digital marketing, and social impact has landed her projects, awards, and honors such as a Pulitzer. She has over 40K followers on LinkedIn, and she's been speaking everywhere at events like South by Southwest, right? Digital Summit Philadelphia, and Tech Inclusion New York. Her work has been featured in Forbes, The Washington Post, and Tech Republic. And you all give it up for Bianca. Bianca, woo, I love her. I love her because Bianca, you need a Bianca in your corner. Why? She will tell you like it is, and she will push you and challenge you, right? To make sure that you get it done. So everyone, give it up for Bianca. And Bianca, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for that. That was amazing. Hopefully it doesn't sound like an echo, but it might. But I just wanted to say that I'm excited to be here, right? So you've heard about the shift. You've heard about getting organized. You've heard about getting clear on your direction. So now I really want to talk about how you can get the right opportunities to meet you on your path, right? So I know a lot of people are tired of chasing promotions, raises, customers, contracts, speaking engagements. But what if instead you can actually attract those things, right? So I'm talking like 6-figure jobs at Fortune 500 companies. I'm talking hundreds of clients in a year, right? Or even speaking engagements where you're on some of the biggest stages as former presidents, right? And so I've actually done this, right? So I've worked for National Geographic, USA Today, Marriott, United Health Group, and I've gotten those connections through LinkedIn. In 1 year, I've landed 179 clients on LinkedIn alone from using my own strategies. And like Dr. Jonette said, I ended up on the stage of South by Southwest, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I was on my way a 4th time before COVID hit. And so I did all of this with the strategies that I use for myself and for my clients on LinkedIn. And so I just want to say that what I do works for job seekers, what I do works for business owners, what I do works for speakers. And if you want it to work for you, and if you're one of those people, let me know, drop a 1 in the chat, because I think that is really important. A lot of times when people come on LinkedIn or they want to use LinkedIn, they're like, I'm not sure exactly how to do it for myself. Trust me, I know how. I've been in all different, all 3 categories, as I said. So just a little bit about me. I'm an award-winning LinkedIn marketing coach. So I primarily work with business owners, but I'm a speaker who speaks at colleges and universities, as well as for different organizations, some business organizations, and also some with just general members, of teaching them how to leverage LinkedIn. And I think that it's really important that people understand that LinkedIn is a way for you to build a platform for yourself. And once you build your platform, you can then have those opportunities come find you. Like, I know how many of y'all are tired of chasing after things. I know I am, and I was. And so I use my background as a tech project manager and understanding how different systems work, and really understood how LinkedIn and the algorithm works, and start putting marketing into it. And then it just went crazy. I remember a few years ago, you couldn't open up the app in the DC area without seeing my face there. And I kind of slowed back a little bit, but I still modified the strategies to be able to assist people to do amazing and great things. And so I just want to know, how many of you have LinkedIn on your mind or in your, I got to get to this list, but I just don't know what to do, so it's just going to sit off to the side? If that's you, put me, because I want to understand who I'm talking to here. Cassandra says me. Okay, Cassandra. Is there anyone else? Because I just believe that, again, LinkedIn is this great equalizing tool if you want it to be, right? Even just today, I got an email to be a keynote for a conference, and it was all because what? I know LinkedIn. And so it was a really awesome thing to, once you figure out what your brand is and how you want to show up on a space, we can then start working together to figure out how to bring those opportunities that you really want to your doorstep, to your inbox, without you having to go chase it. So I don't know, I could talk about this all day, but I won't. And so I don't know if, okay, we have a couple of me's here. We have Karen, Pamela, and Chioma. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to pass it to Shay, but I'm really excited about it. I get, I don't know, like a kid, get all lit up talking about it and thinking about it, because I think it's just an amazing tool if more people put their time and their effort into it. So.
Yay, Bianca. Thank you. You all give it up for Bianca. Give us some love in the chat. All right, you all, last but not least, here comes the powerhouse. This is coming up, Shay Cook. And if I can get my computer to advance, you'll be able to see her lovely picture, y'all. Hold on one second, you all. There we are. Shay Cook. Shay is the Chief Executive Officer and founder of Crusaders for Change. Crusaders for Change empowers and equips the broader community with tools to become financially free through coaching, counseling, and classes. Shay is a certified accredited financial counselor and a certified financial fitness coach. She also has a bachelor's and master's degree in psychology. Shay, welcome to the stage. Y'all give it up.
Thank you, Dr. John. I appreciate that. That's some amazing women I'm following. Oh my goodness gracious, so honored to be here. But I want to ask a couple questions before I get into what I do and how I can help. Is, do you struggle to pay your bills on time? Does anybody, and you don't have to admit it here because I know it's personal. Are you ashamed to disclose your bad spending habits? Or do you have a bad credit score? It doesn't matter how much money you make and all that education and all the stuff we've been talking about. I see this across the spectrum, no matter race, gender, it doesn't matter. I see people suffering from this. So as a CEO and founder of Crusaders for Change, like Dr. Johnette said, we're really here to empower and equip people with the tools they need to become, to get out of debt, to improve their credit, to save, and just, through financial counseling, coaching, and classes, just become financially free. So more about me. Growing up as an Army brat and also marrying an Air Force service member, I saw and experienced how people really struggle to pay their bills, to save for emergencies, which we're really seeing a lot of that in the pandemic, and then overcome past money traumas. A lot of people don't even understand what that means. So really helping them understand that from your past, from past relationships, from childhood, you're probably suffering or maybe suffering from some kind of money trauma. And even though I initially wanted to be a computer engineer and then a lawyer and then a psychologist, I eventually learned and listened to my spirit, which spoke to me when we were living in Turkey. My husband, like I said, he's retired Air Force, and accepted my purpose to help people with their finances. And I'm not a financial advisor or a planner. I'm a certified financial fitness coach and also accredited financial counselor, and really helping people change their behaviors toward money management, certifying them and helping them learn how to align their values and goals and just be accountable to themselves. A lot of people struggle with accountability. They come up with a great plan and they're just not accountable. It just goes to the wayside. And so, you know, I'm really just helping people with all of that. And I love what I do. Having the degrees in psychology has really helped me better understand mindsets and the behaviors behind a person's situation. So that's really a benefit. And I thank God for that every day, how he has aligned all of that. And ultimately, financial freedom starts with you. You and only you can make the choice on how you view money and what it can do in your life. So I often teach people the term, a concept that I've termed money keys, MONEY. So really it's about the managing piece, the opportunity, the necessity, the experience, and you. So through managing your money appropriately, seeking opportunities to save and make more money, understanding money as a necessity and not an end goal, changing and working through your negative experiences, which I deal with a lot with my clients, you can become financially free. And it may be time for you just to look in the person in the mirror and understanding that MONE is not complete without the you. A lot of people are doing all those other things and not understanding that it really comes down to you. It's you that's not why it's not moving forward. So the main issue for many of us is we have no responsibility, we have no ownership, and no accountability. So it takes self-control, discipline, changing your behaviors, and just the time to accomplish all of this. But you as an individual, as a person, must make the first step in order to reach the goal of financial freedom. So I can help with all of this. And since it's getting close to time here, I'm just honored to be here today, and I look forward to working with you. So thank you, Dr. Johnette.
You're welcome. You all give it up for Shay. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. You all, as you can see, the team is not only knowledgeable, but passionate about their work and about ensuring your success. If you would, I'd like everyone in the chat, can you just tell me how you're feeling right now at this point? You know, you can put a 5 for great, or you can spell it out, but I would love to hear how you're feeling where you are right now. Okay, good, pretty good. Informed, awesome, feeling super, terrific. All right, ladies, so let's get in more into what this opportunity looks like for you. So the schedule will look like this. So it's a 6-week program. And weeks 1 and 2 will start with Dr. Cislina and Candy, focused on mindset shifting and organizing. Weeks 3 and 4 will be with me and Bianca, focused on career coaching and LinkedIn optimization. Weeks 5 and 6, Shay will be focused on financial counseling and coaching. We will utilize 2 main learning platforms: online course and virtual meetings, recorded and live. And so if you, through this experience, you will receive strategies to regain your confidence. You will clear physical and emotional clutter. You'll identify and remove energy leaks, unlock the blockages holding your professional dreams captive, target and attract the right career opportunities for you, identify money traumas, develop sound financial principles, and more. And if you were to secure these services from us individually, it would cost you about $16,000. But through this experience, it would be an investment of $699. And that is a savings of over $9,000. $9,000. And might I remind you that you would be working with 5 experts. This is an investment in yourself, and you deserve it. We are experts and we have receipts, right? You can Google us, you can look us up, from our references to testimonials to ads and papers and magazines, to, for some of you, your own personal experience with us. You'll have access to a social psychologist, a certified financial expert, organizational leadership specialist, career coach, life coaches, tech, digital marketing, social media expert, organization guru, all in one setting, And this opportunity is being made especially for you, with you in mind. Now, to participate in this experience, you must apply. And you'll see a link in the chat. And if you apply today and you are accepted into the Oasis, you will receive one 60-minute bonus coaching session with any expert of your choice. And so we are inviting you to participate in this experience as a cohort. We will select 5 women to participate. And as a cohort member, you will not only work with the Professional Oasis experts, but you will also be a member of a community from where you can draw support, expand your network, and collaborate. Can't beat that. The deadline, the application deadline is April 2nd, and you will receive a notification of your acceptance by April 8th, and payment for this wonderful opportunity would be due on April 12th. And on April 19th, day 1 of the program will begin again with Dr. Cislina and Candy Spate. So ladies, you've been looking and praying for an answer. And I believe this is your divine opportunity to level up, to get realigned, refocused on your purpose. And if you don't allow yourself to dream, to dare, to move up, to move out, forward, how will you ever know what you're really capable of? How will you ever get free? Choosing not to grow leads to inactivity, it leads to aborted dreams, and it leads to the pursuit of ill-fitting opportunities. So today, I encourage you to take the levels off of your mind and step boldly into your greatness. You all, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you for taking the time to hear about this incredible opportunity. Now, we would like to entertain any questions that you may have. And feel free to take yourself off of mute or put them in the chat if you have any questions. Okay. If there aren't any questions, any feedback? Let's see here. All right. How are you feeling? Come on, you all. How are you how are you feeling based on what we've shared? My hope is inspired. My hope is motivated. Cassandra, great. Thank you so much. Karen, sounds like an amazing opportunity.
And, I wanted to, just kind of echo what you were saying, Johnette, and really encourage people to think about investing in themselves. One of our greats, I can't remember, I think it was Nanny Helen Barrows said, if it's on your ass, it's not an asset. And so as you think about moving forward, what we're really trying to impart to you is that the investment in ourselves is one investment that just returns dividends over and over and over again. And one of the concepts that I really appreciate and love is the concept of the future self and how we think about ourselves and how difficult it is for us to think about ourselves 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. And so when we were first talking, I was trying to really help paint that picture of what does it look like? What do you think your life is going to look like 10 years from now or 5 years from now? And the idea of investing in yourselves right now, the huge difference that it can make as you think about where you want to be. If you do the same things, you'll get the same things. You've got to do something different. And I'll say this. One of the things that we often say to ourselves is, this is how I am. I'm not going to change. This is what, this is how I was made. Well, the truth is you will be unrecognizable. When you come through a program that is designed to help you really challenge those stories that you've been telling yourself about yourself, they have not really gotten you what you really want, to see, to be. You want to be someone else. You literally have to transform. That means when you sit with Dr. Johnette, you're going to understand how expansive that gift is in you. She has a way to tap that power within. When you sit with Bianca, she's just going to tell you LinkedIn is named, I think, one of the top engines in terms of career. Like if you're not on LinkedIn in terms of professional presence, then you almost don't exist, right? That it is the #1 growing platform in terms of professional presence. And then of course, right? Shay, with her financial planning and the ability to help you put your assets in order. So important, so impactful. And the way we think about that is it's not how much money you make. What is it, Shay? It's how much you keep, right? And what you do with, right? It's what you do with what you had, right? And then we've got our sister Candy, who talks about organizing our thoughts. She keeps us on point. She is just an amazing sister, and she does it in the spirit of love, in the spirit of grace. And so what you have is a group of women who are true. They're 100, right? I didn't say that right. But they are as true as it gets. They show up, they're authentic, and we're all really honored to follow the lead of liberated expressions in the spirit of what Johnette has created. And so we're excited. And so we hope that you will apply into this cohort. It is 5. And the reason why it's 5 is because we really know that in order to be successful, you are not meant to do this alone. That size is going to allow us to focus on your personal brand, what it is that you want to get out of this. So that is this is why we are not opening it up to 50. We could do this presentation over and over again, but the reason why we want to keep it to a group of women that can sew into each other, support each other, there's something very powerful about the mastermind. And so that is what we're creating in you. And so I'm just going to yield my time back to Dr. Johnette, but I just wanted to say a few words to encourage folks to jump on in and invest in themselves.
Dr. Sis, thank you so much. And ladies, one final thing that I want to say to you. I have been in your seat, and being in your seat, I said to myself, woo, to the price tag, right? What I didn't realize is that DIYing it, I ended up spending way more had I invested, way more, right? I realized that in order to get to where it is that I need to go, I have to connect with people who've been there, connect with people who can get me there, right? I had to figure that out. It wasn't immediate, but I learned, and I kept hearing women, these voices over and over and over. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. And I was like, nah. I realized quickly that you must invest. DIY does not work. It'll get you to a point. Let me say that. It'll get you to a point, but you'll stop at a hard, cold brick wall. And you're going to need somebody to help you, to usher you into that next phase. And so, ladies, I hope you hear that. I pray that you take that to heart. The link to the application, Dr. Sis, if you could post that again, is in the chat. If you have questions, you want to contact me, this is my contact information. If you know this opportunity is not for you, but you know of a whole host of other women that this could serve, that it is for them, I encourage you to share it. We will be sharing this video with others so that they will be able to be a part of this, even though they weren't able to attend and to register. Again, the deadline is April 2nd, but if you apply tonight, you have an opportunity to secure a bonus 1-hour coaching session with the coach of your choice. So ladies, we appreciate you. We thank you so much for taking this time. I pray that we feel like it was a good use of your time to be here to learn. And two, you know what? I hope you were inspired. I know there are several entrepreneurs on this call as well. And there are many things that you were doing and wanting to do. I hope that this can serve as a template for creativity, for collaboration, for partnership, for vision, and finally, last but not least, faith and leaps and all of those things that we talk about. We can talk a good game, but when it comes down to it, will we act? Will we act? So you all, thank you so much. It was a pleasure being with you, and hopefully, prayerfully, we will see your applications come in. You all have a good night, and Oasis experts, if you could stay on for a moment, I'd appreciate it. Everyone have a great night.